As much as all the leftists on Blue Sky want to pretend that Elon doesn't have an impact on culture, he really, really does. It's huge. When he chimes in on something, everybody listens. And now there's a mad dash scramble to try to cover up for Wizards of the Coast, cover up for Hasbro, and attempt to mitigate what was done in their terrible original making of D&D history book, which slammed their creator, Gary Gygax. We'll get into all the news in case you guys missed it. Smash that like and subscribe button. Join us here as we talk about all things gaming and culture, specifically when it ties into science fiction and fantasy, because I am a science fiction and fantasy writer myself, my friends. And it is the week where you're going to start doing your Christmas shopping. I hope you'll grab my Adventures of Baron von Monocle series. Grab the whole set for anybody in your family. It's good for all ages, just like, fantasy used to be, like Tolkien, C.S. Lewis. You'll enjoy this. This is just swashbuckling adventure. If you like D&D, RPGs, and the like, I think you'll absolutely love this. In the first book here, Zara ends up inheriting an airship from her father, and as she does so, she has to go on an adventure and discover some crazy things that are happening that I won't spoil for you at that point, but it really opens up into something huge once we get into book 2, and this 6-book series really has a wonderful fantasy setting for you guys that you'll love. So please check it out. It's in the description below. Thank you guys so much for supporting us this month so far. It's on ebook, print, and audio for your convenience as well. And pretty interesting, the commentary today came from Heidi Gygax, talking about inheriting from her father a legacy. Well, she decided to chime in on the situation after the whole controversy exploded because Elon told Wizards of the Coast to go to hell over their treatment of their founder. It's a big, big deal. And so what happened this weekend was, of course, this came back into the prominence. We've been talking about this for a while on the channel. This making of the original Dungeons & Dragons just slams Gary Gygax, talks about racism and slavery and cultural appropriation. Absolutely terrible. We did a video over the weekend showing some of the SJWs talking about this as well. Accusing him of being a bioessentialist because, it's all about their little word salads all the time. Grums picked this up, and that's when Elon actually responded to this, saying nobody gets to trash Gary Gygax and the geniuses who created Dungeons & Dragons. What the F is wrong with Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast? May they burn in hell. Now, this went mega viral. Of course it did. And as it did, the entire gaming industry started to scramble to, of course, not just defend Gary Gygax and Dungeons & Dragons, but because Elon said it, this is how they work, guys, that, Elon equal bad person Trump. Yeah. And so they have to flip out and, of course, attack Elon Musk and attack Gary Gygax even further to virtue signal. And so all these woke influencers are going off on it. Of course, there's even more happening on that. We can cover it a little bit later. But it even prompted a response from Gygax's daughter. And she responded kind of badly. And I'll tell you why. She was attempting to preserve her father's legacy, but failed in it. And if she does watch this video, if you do watch this video, please this is a lesson for how not to do this in the future, because the woke get encouraged so easily. They are in their own little echo chambers, and they want to spiral things even more. Any inch you give them, they will take a mile. It's never a good thing. And Grums, of course, posted on the video. He said, not one of the biggest D&D YouTubers has covered Gary Gygax's slander at the hands of Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, after Elon and I and Corpse Kings talked about it over the weekend. I've covered it. Grums, I'm one of the bigger D&D YouTubers. They are captured, accessed, driven, and corrupt, but he does mean mainstream people. I know what he means. It's funny. How can you not do a video after one of the most powerful men in the world talks about your hobby? It is the biggest story. What news is bigger than that? It should be everything, right? But are they too busy poring over the next crumb of access from Wizards to bother? Are too afraid to lose that? We are the media now. Yeah, I love this call right here because it's very, very true. The people who were a part of this and we're talking about this stuff before, are very, very clearly on the dole. And this is what's happened not just with Wizards of the Coast. We've covered it in the video game industry a lot with our videos about BioWare and Ubisoft. These people get paid access from these from the big companies, and they're basically their press release pieces. That's all they do at this juncture. They don't do anything, and they don't cover anything for real. They don't give honest opinions at this point. It's really, really sad. This is how corrupt the media has become. And of course, somebody like me doesn't just not get access. I get banned from every freaking event ever because they just don't want me covering things because they're trying to hide things. If there was nothing to hide and it was just having fun, I'd love to report on that. But none of these conventions and none of these companies can seem to do that. It's very, very sad. But that's the world we live in today. Now, like I said, Heidi Gygax actually chimed in on this because now it's talking regarding the post by Ben Riggs. D&D co-creator was sexist. In my opinion, much seems to be taken out of context and pieced together, so she attempted to defend on this. I cannot verify the sources, though I truly believe they are incomplete and incorrect. I think Frank Menser states his insights on this eloquently. As for my perspective, I do not believe my father was racist or misogynistic. Okay, that's a good thing. Was he sexist? And this is where she gets into a problem. And this is like the thing you got to realize. We're in 2024 now, Heidi. You do not have to give in to the woke mob. You don't have to couch your opinions for people. You don't have to say that the past was somehow bad anymore. Trump won. And this sort of thing is not relevant anymore. If you look at gaming in general, all the woke games are failing. All the woke movies and TV shows are failing. Woke comic book industries just torching itself. D&D is doing the same. It is nuking itself into oblivion with this type of stuff. You do not have to fear cancel culture. You don't have to fear these people. You don't have to couch yourself. You don't have to say that the old times were worse and somehow we're better. We know that's not true at this juncture. We know that it's all fake. We know that the narratives that they push are all lies in order to try to make themselves feel good because these are a bunch of talentless hacks who have taken over the industry who can't write worth crap, and they can't even create a game worth crap either, or even improve a game. All they can do is corrupt and destroy. And because their sales are low, they try to self-validate in these little echo chambers on Blue Sky, and it doesn't impact anything. If you don't give them an inch, they have nothing to take. If you don't apologize, if you don't have any apologetic stance whatsoever, they will never be able to do anything. They have no power here. And that is something you got to learn at this juncture. So this is what she says, and I'm sad about this. He was born in 1938, a father born in the 1880s, a mother born in 1906. He was raised in a traditional Anglo-Saxon Protestant family with traditional biblical family values where the male was the head of the household. Okay, that's not a bad thing, and that does not couch anybody's views as bad or immoral or unenlightened. No, quite the opposite. That is the correct way to be. That is the family unit that made America great. That is the way that God intended our people to be, and it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing, and this is where I'm incensed about this. In my adult opinion, yes, this is sexist and doesn't hold up to our more enlightened standards today. All right, if the biblical values are not the enlightened values, if the word of God is not, what is enlightened? And that's exactly what they're doing here. This validates, honestly, everybody goes off on the Christian panic about the Satanism in the 80s and all that. It validates everything they said. Like, if you're saying that the Christian values of the past that actually made a wonderful society are somehow bad and unenlightened, and that's the implication here, that's exactly what the people were warning was going to happen in the 80s. They were right. And guess what? The people who are running these things are satanic witchcraft weirdos that are in charge of all of these entertainment properties, not just D&D at this point. And it's very, very clear. It's all about child sacrifice. It's all about weird grooming stuff and destroying people's lives with their weird sexual fetishes and depravity. That is what it's all become. So, gosh, there's my hot take for the day. Like I said, the Christian way of life was a good thing. Gary Gygax subscribed to that, and that's why he made something great, because you can't make anything good or beautiful without doing glory to God. It's impossible. And yes, I'm sorry if that triggers or offends some people, but wake up, people. Obviously, it's a good thing, and this is what we're doing on the channel, is trying to promote the glory of God and God's kingdom here, of course. But here she says, like I said, she just posted that. The only reason she did that was to appease the woke people and say, look, I'm one of you. I'm one of you guys. We're enlightened now. They weren't then. Bummer. Bummer you did that, because you just called your father sexist in trying to defend him. But here we go. Yet he was a loving father and husband who valued all of his children and his wife. All three of his daughters played D&D with him at some point. I happen to be the only one who still plays. Okay, so he wasn't sexist at all. In fact, he was protecting his daughters. He was protecting his wife. He was being a good husband. He was providing for his family. That's a good thing. The whole feminism has just corrupted people's minds so much, it drives me crazy. It's really bad. It is an evil ideology, my friends, and we do have to nuke it from society. In short, he wasn't perfect. He was far from all the negative accusations that are resurfacing. I'm proud, as a strong, independent female, oh joy, to have Gary Gygax as my father in Five Family legacy. So this is too bad, because like she really gave an opening for them and said, so all the SJWs are going to go, see, even his daughter admits he was sexist. That's all this did. Even though like she defended him, even though she said he was a good man, even though she said, and clearly by his actions, not sexist, she gave that opening, and you can't do that these days. You have to fight harder. You cannot equivocate. You cannot apologize. These people just need to be removed from all of these industries. That's all that we can do at this juncture. Oh, it's so sad. Well, she tried. And, I'm just trying to, of course, constructive criticism here, because this is how you fight back, and this is how you do things. Like I said, don't give these people an inch. They do need to go to hell, as Elon said, and we are going to take back everything we love. We're going to take back the culture and save the culture, and we're going to do it by promoting what's right and not equivocating. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button and join us, and please also grab my fantasy books. You'll absolutely love them. They are clean, so your whole family can enjoy them, and I appreciate you for being there. It's in the description below, ebook, print, and audio, and it's a 6-book series. Thank you so much. We'll be back soon.